Hey, welcome to the channel. I am musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. We are in the 2009 self-titled album from 21 Pilots called 21 Pilots. This is track number 9, Aircatcher. Here's what Genius.com has to say about Aircatcher. Aircatcher is one of the lesser acknowledged songs on 21 Pilots' self-titled album and describes a reluctant attraction emanating from Tyler, in which he slowly falls into temptation. The title uses imagery to describe a parachute which aids Tyler in the precautionary measures to avoid heartbreak. He explains that the attracting predator sabotages his metaphorical parachute by possibly unintentionally making him fall in love with them. Ever since the release of Vessel in 2013, Aircatcher, along with a handful of others on the album, have practically vanished from set lists. That said, in this old performance, Tyler mentions that it is the first song he ever performed in a concert setting. That's very cool, and we will 100% be taking a look at his old performance if we can find it. The link on genius.com is broken. I'll see what we can find though and pull something up. And if I find it, I'll have it available over on Patreon. But I'm excited. Sounds like a very cool premise to a song. This is Aircatcher by 21 Pilots. I always talk about their production value. It is between both headphones, just
I don't fall slow like I used to. I fall straight down. You stole in my air catcher that kept me safe and sound.
is the air catcher. That's the parachute. You've stolen my air catcher. Okay, he's about to talk about a parachute. That's interesting. You've stolen my air catcher. Whatever metaphorically is meant to slow the descent.
My parachutes would guide me safely to ground. But now the cord's not working and I see you staring me down. I won't fall in love with falling. I will try to avoid those eyes. I think you would be the moon in a pretty contest, and the moon just happened to be the very first thing that I missed. I was doing fine on my own, and there wasn't much I lacked. But you stole in my air catcher, and I don't know if I want it back.
Man, okay. So obviously he's speaking to this idea of a seductress in a sense. And it's interesting because even in the book of Proverbs, pretty early on, maybe chapter 4, there are a few chapters. Um, it's this idea of like, don't go down the street of the harlot. And it's just representative of something that's tempting, that desires you, whether that is actually the prostitute or something else in life, drugs, alcohol, fame, These things, again, that some of those things are not bad enough themselves. I would say illegal drugs, probably not a good thing. Even some non-illegal drugs, got to figure that out between you and your doctor. But you guys get what I'm saying. It's even the idea that, like, well, we won't go there. But this idea of, like, don't even go down her street. Don't go to her doorstep, because what you don't realize is that she's like sweet as honey and her words are smooth, but like her door, if you go through her door, it leads to death. It actually says Sheol, the place of the dead. And so in this same sense, it's like this seductress, this tempter who's trying to draw his attention away. We'll jump into some of the other lyrics deeper in just a moment when we finish the song. But I love this. I think you'd beat the moon in a pretty contest. The moon just happened to be the very first thing that I missed. We'll look at it deeper, but obviously it's this talking about, like, shoot for the moon. That's what they say, like set your eyes high, go after something great. And this idea that he was doing that, but he missed. I don't think it's the mist and, like, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. I don't think that's what he's referring to. I think he's like, no, I missed it. I didn't accomplish, what I was hoping to accomplish.
I won't fall in love with falling. I will try to avoid those eyes, 'cause I'm not sure I want to give you tools that can destroy my heart. And I just don't say.
I love when he flexes his vocals, and I can't wait to see more and more and more as he develops. But even bringing in that higher octave and that kind of operatic, and the way he swings his voice. I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. And again, it's those things that allow them to create such interesting music, because not only do they experiment with sounds, with instruments, because they're gifted musicians, but he's able to experiment a lot with where they're just going melodically and lyrically with his voice, and it's very cool.
And I just don't say what you wanna hear. So I show my fear. And I don't believe
Awesome.
in talking just to breathe and falling selfishly. I won't fall in love with falling. I will try to avoid those eyes, but now I'm here.
Which this is all three of the guys at this time: Tyler, Joseph, Nick Thomas, and Chris Saleh. If I'm mispronouncing his name, you can try to do the little things in the comments that help me understand it, how to say it properly. But yeah, this is the three of them harmonizing together.
To give you words as tools that can destroy my heart.
That'll be interesting to explore in just a moment, what he was talking about there. Again, another very cool song, lovely song. I probably will get to a point where I just don't need to say that every single time. Okay, let's take a look together. I don't fall slow like I used to. I fall straight down. Okay. So this idea of falling quickly, plummeting, because you've stolen my air catcher that kept me safe and sound. My parachute's what got me safely to the ground. But now my cord's not working and I see you staring me down. So it's in a sense that like maybe he had some way to slow the descent. Let's see. Tyler's air catcher represents self control. So, yeah, that's what I was speaking to. It's a much better word for it. His lover has seduced him, perhaps unintentionally, to the point where he can't help but to fall in love with them. So, yeah, I used to fall slow, but now when the temptation comes around, I fall quickly. This thematically matches Can't Help Falling in Love, an iconic 1961 hit by Elvis Presley, which was covered by the band in late summer 2012 and released on YouTube. How much you want to bet that link is broken too? Oh. Yep. We're definitely watching that one. The link works. I'll go find the other thing too. Um, but both those videos will be on Patreon. Maybe we'll do it as a double feature, one video. That's very cool. I don't know any of Elvis's music. Ain't nothing but a hound dog. I know that one. As the chorus goes, Tyler presents himself in a helpless situation of inevitably falling in love. Take my hand, take my whole life too, because I can't help falling in love with you. He knows he's falling fast, but despite how much he tries to slow down or pull the cord of his parachute, he can't help but be overwhelmed by their beauty. Cool. I won't fall in love with fallen. I will try to avoid those eyes. So yeah, it's trying to summon that self-control, not fall in love with just like being so easily seduced. I feel that this song has the same meaning as Glowing Eyes off of Regional at Best. The song isn't talking about a fear of falling in love with someone, it's talking about a fear of falling in love with depression. Okay. He doesn't want to feel depressed, but the depressing thoughts are comforting and familiar to him, which that could be his thing. Just like I was talking about, we all feel these draws, these temptations toward things. And so for him, like I don't know if I've ever been, I don't know that I've ever been in a depression for like a long period of time. I have been, you know, I don't know. I've come to the point before where like I didn't want to show up at work. And this isn't just like, oh, work is hard type thing. Like I was really searching for purpose and felt all these things in my heart that I wanted to accomplish, but then felt at a dead end where I was. And so I remember being home one day, this before I think we had any kids, probably a year into our marriage. And it was the first time in my life I'd ever wept. Like I just couldn't control it, and I'm a crier for like some sentimental things. But I'm not like a crier, a complainer. And so I just remember talking with my wife and the idea of showing back up at that place the next day literally just calls me from like deep within. If you've ever wept, it comes from like your belly, right? And it just like, and I couldn't, like, I'm just like shaking. I couldn't stop it. And so even in that sense, sorry, I was trying to remember where we were. We're talking about depression. So yeah, I've felt some very deep and dark things, but I don't know that I've ever been in like a long time depression. And so for him, he feels this temptation to keep going back to this place. And I know a deep depression, it shuts you off emotionally. It makes it hard to show up to work or to do things that are purposeful. Obviously, there's the self-harm side of it. So there are a lot of things that can come out of that are very hurtful. And it's, so anyways, with all of that, him feeling like this might be a temptation for him. And I won't fall in love with fallen, this idea of just giving in too quickly. Okay. Sorry, I just realized as well as I was clicking on the annotations, you guys couldn't see it because I wasn't going to the other side. I'll try to remember to do that. Oh, this was the thing I was curious about. So, I think you beat the moon in a pretty contest. While the moon may be described as beautiful, it dwells in the night, which, judging by songs such as Ode to Sleep, is not a good time for Tyler. That's interesting. Yeah, and I can understand that because that's when you're kind of just left with yourself. You know, everything slows down, gets quiet, and it's very easy for your thoughts to take control. When you're busy and distracted, that's more difficult, which is a call to find something purposeful to have your hands and your mind engaged in. Because, yeah, if you're just left sitting around not doing anything, there's definitely a balance there. You know, it can cause those feelings to come up. I'm not talking about like self-medicating and running from them necessarily. This very well may imply that this person is bad for Tyler, further explaining why he doesn't want to fall for them too fast, if at all. So this one I was curious, and the moon just happened to be the very first thing that I missed. The moon is one of the very few things that help Tyler through the night when his thoughts and inner demons haunt him as described in Ode to Sleep. This is likely due to the moon's reflective property. Tyler views the sun and morning as a representation of all things good. Yeah, that makes sense. That's consistent with literature and even biblical literature. The moon reflects that good and represents a reason to keep going. Okay, so even the reflection, that's cool. I wonder if he's speaking to the idea that the moon's existence or our ability to see it is only because light exists. So even in the night, it's a reminder that there is still light and that eventually dawn will come. I've honestly never thought about it that way. And whether that's fully what he's trying to say here or not, that is a very powerful thought. That even in the darkest of night, you can look at the moon and remember the only reason you can see the moon is because the light does exist. That's cool. As Tyler falls in love and begins to share himself, he misses the good parts of being alone with his own thoughts at night. Oh, so I wonder if instead of this idea of like missing the moon, like shooting for the moon and missing, Oh, I'm gonna have to think on that and listen on that a little bit more because that sheds a different light on it, pun intended. The moon just happened to be the very first thing that I missed. So it's not about shooting for the moon. That's what I said earlier. It's the idea of not seeing the moon. I was doing fine on my own. There wasn't much I lacked, but you've stolen my air catcher, and I don't know if I want it back. So that's an honest feeling there. This dancing shirtless guy is starting to drive me crazy. Genius.com and their ads everywhere. I've been looking at him every day. Just jealous. And I just don't. Oh, this was another one I wanted to look at. I'm not sure I want to give you tools that can destroy my heart. He doesn't want to let this person in, give them information that other people might. That's what I was wondering. And that's where really how it will help tie it up at the end, because the lyric at the end is, but now I'm here to give you words as tools that can destroy my heart. So even in like the writing and the singing and the sharing, you are in some ways giving some insight into yourself. Information other people might not know, because this person might turn and use that against him. Even though these weaknesses are in fact a part of him, there are still some ideas that he wants to hold on to keep away from that particular train of thought. If he lets go of the things he holds dearest, it will destroy him. Wow. Man, I mean, a simple song in premise, but the lyrics are very deep and fun. to think about. And obviously, if I wasn't looking at them and reading them here with you, I'd probably just be listening to the track over and over and over and trying to decipher it over time and hear it more and more, which I do, when after I listen to the songs, like they become the things that I listen to, nonstop. And it's fun to hear new things. I really enjoyed that song. I enjoy some of those meanings. I enjoy that thought around the moon. I will look up the old performance Tyler mentions. I guess I don't know if it's an old performance of the song, but I'll take a look for it, and you keep an eye out on Patreon, because I will definitely include the cover of Elvis's song, and I'll see if there's like an old version of this that maybe he talks or something. But keep an eye out for it, and thanks for being with me in this video. I hope to see you in the next one, because reading good.